Good morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of our episodic series where we will be rebuilding the combines and getting ready for Harvest 2025. If you missed the last episode, I highly recommend you going back and watching that one first because today we're tying in right where we left off of the last episode. I'm not too sure what we're going to be getting into today, although this morning Cody and I were going to be ripping out the floor of the feeder house and we're going to be putting in a brand new sheet of metal for this new harvest season. So last year we slid this plate right here in as well as this top one, and then we welded it all the way around. We also drilled holes and then tack welded it in the middle, that way it doesn't bubble up if one of these welds gave out and dirt kind of shoved up there. But if we look up here in the very top, let's see if I can scoot my way up here. We have already wore the backside out, which is kind of strange, really. You can see where the welds used to be, like right here, and this metal used to come up. So it's already rubbed a hole in it, and this is the factory floor. But for us to get this out, we have to grind the welds off right here and try not to cut through the factory floor. And we're gonna prise these two out of here, cut a new piece of metal, slide it in here, and weld it. And you can see the assortment of parts that we have already out of the combine from episode 1. And we have this sheet metal over here that is a little bit thicker than what we put in last year. I'm not sure the exact thickness if you're wanting to know. I guess for a reference, here's my finger. I don't know if that does any good to you or not, but we have a couple of sheets right here. I believe we're doing the number 2 and 1 combine. I'm not 100% sure if he's going to do the number 3 combine over there. We might do it, we might not. But yeah, we have the top and bottom sieves pulled out. I believe that was the ending of episode 1. And the reason why we have that out is we're doing shoe frame bushings on this combine. If you've never seen the inside of a combine with it just bare in here, here you go. There's no sieves in here. Yesterday, we got all of these pieces cut for the floor. But if you take a tape measure and measure out this one and this one's going to be a little narrower. The real reason behind that is, well, the sheet that they sell it by isn't big enough to do 2 full pieces. But we're thinking, instead of taking the floor out of the feeder house like we did yesterday, so instead of taking those 2 pieces out and leaving it like this, like we did yesterday, Dad's thinking about just welding it on top of the pieces that's already in there. The pieces that's already in there are pretty wore out, so we're thinking that if we take it out, we're not really gaining that much clearance, if that makes sense. Plus, it's a lot of work. So if y'all want a comparison on these used ones versus the new ones, here you go. Look how wore that is. What's bad is this one isn't even the worst one. On the very left-hand side of the combine, on the #1 combine that I ran last year, it's like almost to a point on these sprockets on the feeder house. That is insane. Well, we got the new sprockets put on, and Cody and I put a new bearing on this end. We're also gonna come over here and put a new bearing that goes on this end as well. Well, our next project requires the bins to be open. So I'm gonna have to move the combine just a little bit. That way we can open the bins and miss this tree that's right next to the combine. And if I'm gonna do that, I might as well swing my auger out because we're gonna do some vertical work on that as well. So I guess I will be back in 20 minutes whenever the screen loads. Dad's inspecting my auger work. And it's good. We don't have to have it all the way out to work on it, just a little bit. Well, it loaded up halfway, I suppose. It's probably gonna give me a bunch of sieve stuff because we have them unplugged and out on the trailer right here. Yep, chaffer and sieve, not there. Also this problem right here, diesel exhaust fluid tank heater. Dad looked that up. That is a $1,000 part that we're gonna have to replace, so that's awesome. Oh my goodness, Mom, look how dirty your windows are. And there we go. Oh yeah, perfect. We are kind of touching the tree just a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't scratch the paint. I think we could have got some season out of them.
I'm telling you, it's fixing to get interesting. Okay, let's pay attention. Looks to me like this is not good.
What?
Yeah, the auger's still attached.
Why?
I don't know, she's at the very bottom then. The splines are stuck together.
Yep, he sure does.
I got a bell spike, but it ain't gonna fit in that hole.
Are you going the other way? Like, when is it gonna catch it?
Right there.
Yeah. It's touching it now.
Don't let it spin. We're fixing to pull it off. I mean, it's just.
Oh, it's coming on.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
coming
spinning.
I'm fixing to help you. Let's go.
Watch it step.
Hayden, you're gonna have to go down. I'm gonna have to
Step down.
I got it on my leg. Chocolate grits. Let's just go to the ground with it right here. Oh my gosh.
Thanks, Cody.
See, this should just slip right, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna go in. Everybody thinks I can't fit in here, but I do.
Got some Crisco in the truck.
Well, last night really didn't go to plan. So, whenever we were taking this off from up there, this was supposed to stay up in the hole up there. This piece was just gonna come off, and then we were gonna get that piece and take it off. But instead, it kind of stuck on these splines right here, and it all came at once. Which, that's already heavy, and that just adds even more weight. That was extremely heavy, if y'all are wondering. But it is currently the next morning. Dad's friend is on his way over to help us do shoe frame bushings this morning. His name is Chris, and he also has a custom harvesting company, and he knows a ton about combines, especially shoe frame bushings.
this one bolt just sticks through there.
Yeah, it'd be the middle position.
Yeah, what goes on it out here though?
The what connects to your eccentric bearing shaft. Yeah, got to make sure you get those in there before we bolt the thing in there, or else we'll be doing this again.
Hang on, this.
There we go. The
Okay.
carriages are locked in.
So I need to put a nut on that, don't I?
Yep.
So we need to do this same one on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now what are you gonna do?
Me?
Yeah.
Put the chaffer frame back in place.
That's
And put the front arms in.
because we can get to all the other bolts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to pick up?
Yeah, I think so. Jeff, you need to push from the back. Push forward. There we go. There we go. Now lift, Jeff. Yeah, we got it. Okay, okay. There she goes.
Okay, it's captured in the back now. I always keep all that old hardware so you never know when you might need it in a bind. Right. So it's the two short ones?
Two short ones go there.
The nuts go on the inside?
Inside.
So, yeah, that goes like that.
This goes on the back side and the bolts go in from there. It's gonna be these right here.
Well, that's a real treat, ain't it? Does this arm go on this side?
Yeah. The back one's the hardest to get in there.
I can't see.
Well, we're quite a ways off, but we'll deal with that here in a minute.
Yep, about a mile. There it is. Throw in them.
Okay, now we didn't torque these, did we?
No,
Did we tighten them?
no.
Nope. It's a problem.
Is it 96?
Mm-hmm.
236 on these. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're saying put a mark here? Straight up.
No, I'm saying there's already that. That's what that square's for.
Oh, it is?
That is the marker.
I didn't know what that was for.
I didn't either
So
until
do
a
I
few weeks
turn it
ago.
this way?
Yeah. There's two. There's three. That's gotta be in the 12 o'clock position. Right there. This is all at the mid-stroke.
Is that
That should all be mid-stroke.
it? Is it?
This should all be mid-stroke.
So I should hold this?
Yeah, we can put a 1-inch strap to hold it so that way you don't have to sit there.
Well, we got the shoe frame bushings put together and finished, as well as putting the top and bottom sieve put back together. And we also got all of these belts over here put back together. And yeah, what else did we do? We put that new belt on, as well as the elevator belt. Got that put on. But everything shoe frame wise is put back together and working, so that is good. We really appreciate Chris coming out and helping us with that, because with Chris here, it went by extremely smoothly. We still have to put floors on the chopper. We have to put this dually hickey back on. I don't know what you even want to call that. I guess they spread the chaff on the side of the combines. We're waiting on this bearing right here for the sprockets. Then that can be put back on. And then we can also do feed accelerator hardware, and then we can put the feeder house chain in. That chain's still good, so we're gonna run that. And then the front of the combine will be ready. Then if we go to the midsection, we still have to put concaves in, that one separator grate. This situation up here, we still have to do whatever we have to do up here. Anyways, I think that's all we're gonna be doing today. I'll check in with y'all tomorrow. Moment of truth. Hey, we got a def reading. That's a good sign. There is still a code popping up. I don't know what that could be. I would say the sieves, but the sieves are already in the machine and plugged in, so I don't know. It did go away though. Whenever I turned the key on, it popped up on the corner post. Look at exclamation point, but I don't know. I go into the trouble codes and none are active, so I guess we fixed it. Oh my gosh. About took an eyeball out. Well, we got the gearbox rebuilt, got new bearings in it and new gears. So hopefully it runs pretty smooth. There was a little hard spot, but I think Dad got it freed up a little bit. So I suppose the next step is putting it back up there. Well, the auger has to go up there first and then the gearbox, but so I guess enjoy us trying to struggle and put it back up there. So this auger has to be timed just right so we can shove the vertical auger up in there. So currently we have the inspection door open, as you can see right there, and I have to turn the auger just right and keep it right there. And Dad's gonna stand down there and try to put the vertical auger in. Which the vertical auger weighs 90 pounds, so we'll see how this goes.
I'll make a tool for this.
Where am I going with this?
Be on the top of that crank or the bottom, doesn't really matter.
Just strap it. Yep. I'm trying.
Get a bolt in it. Is there shorter or longer? No, they're all the same. The nuts go to the outside.
Well, we got that completed. Got the guard put on, the chain put on, and I crawled up there and the auger is right here. There's an inspection door on the back side, right about in here. I got that put on. I'm out of breath. Also, while that fiasco was going on, our order of concaves came in with new feed accelerator hardware. Look at there. Look how thick these are. That is insane. And some elements for the #1 combine. Also, I don't know if I showed y'all the vertical unload auger, but look how wore that thing was. Oh my goodness. I think we got the good out of that one. And I guess another thing that we did yesterday when I turned the camera off is we put the floor of the chopper on. So that looks pretty snazzy. Look at all the green paint in there. From the top of my head, we have to do those little plastic pieces right there because those are wore out. The rest of the feed accelerator hardware, I think Dad was doing these over here earlier. Yep, there you go. Put the feeder house chain in there. We're getting a new feeder house drive chain because that one was pretty wore out. This side of the combine is pretty much done. At least I think it's done. The chopper area is done. Up in the engine bay compartment is done. This side of the combine over here is done. And then I think the only thing left over in this area are concaves. And I gotta run around the tire. Hold on. We have to put this block on. I don't know if y'all remember or not, in North Dakota, was that this year or last year? I can't remember. Anyways, we put this fore and aft block on. But other than that, changing the oil and taking these tires off and putting the duals back on, this combine is ready to go. Well, I guess also giving it a bath, but we'll do that once everything is done. Also, speaking of putting the duals on, Dad is selling these tires that are on Mom's combine. So if anyone wants these tires or interested in ththese tires, I'll put the 4G harvesting email at the bottom of the screen, as well as a bunch of specs right here. If anyone is interested, please contact that email and we'll hook you up. Here is a little measurement of the tread. There is a little bit of stubble damage, as you can see in the middles, but that's pretty much it. The only reason why we're selling them is because we're gonna be slapping the duals back on this combine, since the number 3 combine already has duals. So we're gonna be having to deal with duals anyways. Might as well put the duals back on this combine. Dad said the package comes with both tires, both wheels, obviously, as well as another tire without a wheel on it. So I think it's down in the barn. Here is the extra tire that will come with the package. If you're wondering, I forgot to bring the tape measure. So the tread is pretty much the same. It looks like stubble damage in the middle as well. Also on the ends right here. I'm guessing this is the same size. It is a 870R38 Firestone. Also, do y'all remember the 13 whenever the motor locked up? Yep, there's the engine for that. But I do think that is going to be it for episode 2 of preparing the combines for harvest of 2025. If you're liking the video series so far, don't forget to drop down, hit like, and subscribe. But I do think that's going to be it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.